Story 1. She told me she wanted to open the relationship after 7 years. After 7 years, she told me she wanted to open the relationship. Told me she decided she was poly and wanted to explore that side of her. Tried to frame this as if it's not just her wanting to fuck other men by claiming this is an emotional deficiency in our relationship, like that makes it any better. She's been unemployed for 2.5 fucking years. 2.5 years I've worked 50 hours a week to support her ungrateful ass so she can sit home and do nothing but play video games and shit talk me to people online who apparently agree I'm not enough for her. She doesn't clean, doesn't do anything for the 2 damn dogs she brought into the relationship, doesn't do anything for me but unenthusiastic sex once in a while. She didn't even ask me, this was not a question. She just said that she wanted to open the relationship and acted like I was just going to have to go along with it. If anything, that selfish bitch is the reason this relationship has been emotionless for some time. She even tried to shame and guilt me when I said I'm not okay with this. Tried to tell me that no one man can fulfill everything she needs, think of it like a puzzle, you're only one piece that fits to make me whole, and that I need to stop taking it personally. The only funny thing about this whole situation was how quick that manipulative bitch changed her tune when I told her to get the fuck out, go find her puzzle piece who will support her financially because I'm done. Her shaming quickly turned to her apologizing and begging me to stay with her. Only funnier thing was when she showed even more emotion when I told her she can't take the computer I paid for with her when she went to stay with her parents. This was just the straw that broke the camel's back, but it stings nonetheless. Story 2. I 28F pressured my husband 26M into opening our marriage, and now he is divorcing me to be in closed relationship with his GF. I don't know where to start. After we got married, I finally confessed him that I am kinda on polyamorous side. It took me days to convince him that it's not just an excuse to cheat, and that he can meet other people too. I wanted us to be one of those cool couples with zero jealousy and toxicity when it comes to the other people. Well, I should have seen it coming. He was depressed for first 6 months, I could see it on him, but I thought he'd be happy for me, and hoped he'd realize that this is something good for both of us. After that phase he became even colder with me, and my attempts to try to get him more involved into marriage were failing. Then finally, he started seeing someone. It was killing me to see him on the phone with her all the time. He then got a separate bed too. He no longer wanted to even sleep with me as his GF wouldn't like it, and I felt horrible. A literal stranger was stealing my husband and I could do nothing about it. Then he'd start sleeping at her place more and more often, and now it finally happened. He brought divorce papers. He doesn't even want to speak to me anymore. I tried to tell him that we can close back our marriage if that's what he wants, but he doesn't want to even discuss anything. He just said he wants marriage and kids with her, and that is tearing me apart. What can I do to save my marriage and get back the man that I love? If I knew this would happen, I would never even bring up the idea of opening anything. I 28F signed the divorce papers and will not ask for anything from my husband M26, just hoping that he will no longer hate me. TLDR, I pressured him into open marriage and ignored his feelings for a long time, until he wanted divorce to be in closed relationship with his GF. I finally realized what I put him through, so I will do everything he wants to at least make him happy one last time. As much as I regret my decisions, I cannot go back in time now. I love that man and I wish I didn't take him for granted. I was just blinded by excitement and new experiences that open marriage brought us, just I'd always come back to him, While he stopped to be intimate with me and even bought separate bed after he found a GF, and he soon even moved into her place. We don't have any property we got together, and I don't want anything from him in the long run either. This will be my last gift to him, and this is least I can do for him after all I did to him. OP note, had to repost due to error in title. Edit, look people, I tried to make a second post about actual cake, but it was removed. Edit 2, okay, fine you guys win, the cake is a lie. Just like OOP's marriage. Story 3. My fiancée confessed about having sex with her ex-boyfriend as his last request before he died of cancer. His name is Tom, age 34. He passed away a month ago. They had a long-term relationship that lasted for 6 years. She was the one who ended it, and I met her 2 years later. When I heard of his passing in was shocked, as I didn't even know he was sick. And my fiancée never mentioned it, though she had a habit of bringing him up once in a while. After the funeral I noticed that she became distant and quiet. She'd refuse to even make contact with me. I kept thinking she must be in the midst of heavy grief, but still felt something was not right. I tried asking her to open up, and she refused and sort of shut me out for a while. Yesterday I came home and found her crying. She refused to let me sit next to her or comfort her in any way, even refused to let me talk to her. I didn't know what to do other than to wait till she'd calmed down. She then told me she had something to tell me. She started talking about Tom and his illness and who was there for him / who wasn't, etc. She then told me she was contacted by him 3 weeks before his death asking to see her. She said she felt hesitant but then went. What she said next shook me. She said he told her about stopping his treatment for a while and how he felt alone and discouraged. He proceeded to ask if she could spend one night with him as his final wish before he passed on. She said she thought about it a lot and felt conflicted but eventually agreed. They spent the night together, I know what night it was now, and ended up having sex. She started crying again, swearing that didn't feel anything that night nor afterwards, and swore that she did this out of guilt towards him. Now she's feeling 10 times more guilty. I'm in an utter shock. I have no idea how to react or what to say. She keeps pleading with me to be understanding of the position she was put in and not wanting to dismiss his request in his last days. I still don't think it's an excuse to do what she did. She said it wasn't about her or how she felt but about Tom. I still feel like she's wronged me and betrayed my trust and damaged the bond we have together. She hasn't stopped begging me to understand and forgive so we could move past this, but I feel like I'm not the same after I found out about what she did. Regardless of her intentions and the fact that he's not around anymore,